Hey, you're listening to First Exit to Springfield. I'm your host, Mansoor. I'm here with a guest of mine, Liam.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Really good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, just getting my dinner on. It's the height of Ramadan, so hella hungry.
So it's 9:33 and you've just managed to eat your first bite of Tesco.
Tesco's finest tuna sandwich.
Do you think, like, during Ramadan you should savour it for something a little bit more fancy?
Yeah, I reckon. Hey, I mean, look, those guys in 7th century Arabia were breaking it with like dates and water, right? So I'm already levels ahead, right? There's top tier meals in comparison.
I don't know, man. Dates and water might be better than a lot of Tesco's finest.
The nutritional benefits, definitely, yeah. Anyways, glad we finally got you out here, man. You ready to be grilled on your Simpsons knowledge?
Yeah, I'm ready to be grilled.
Nice.
Well, what do you want to know?
Cool. So let's get into the background story, your origin story. How'd you get into the show?
How did I get into the show? Well, like, I remember, I think I was on a random family holiday. I think it might have been, like, weirdly, after, I think when my mum first took us on full-time as a single mum, she took us to America to try and be, like, bossy in the fact that, okay, I'm a single mum, but I can still, like, take you guys on crazy experiences. So at 7 years old, I think she probably spent more than she could afford, but we went over to America. Wow. And I caught one of the earliest episodes of The Simpsons.
Okay.
What was that episode? I remember watching Simpsons on the TV, and I don't think it was quite over in the UK yet. I was born in 1988, so
you're OG veteran.
I'm an OG veteran. I'm 29. I'm older than The Simpsons.
Jeez,
I'm in one of those stages that's probably not like that recognizable in 2017, but I'm older than The Simpsons.
Jeez. And
I think I went out there, and I remember one of the early episodes. I can't remember. It might have been Mr. Plow or something like that. But it was like a super early episode. And I think we were staying in a Days Inn in California. And I watched this one episode and I loved it. And I got home and I don't think I could watch it on TV again because I'm from like North Yorkshire. We couldn't afford cable. We had your standard channel 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I had to wait to go to I think I waited till I moved to London and there was one of the wealthier kids who had Sky. And we'd go around their house and you'd catch The Simpsons.
That's sick, man.
So like Simpsons is like a bit of a hallmark to me. It was the first animated show, like slightly more adult themed animated show that I ever watched. I think cartoons before that I'd seen Tom and Jerry, but I hadn't seen anything like The Simpsons.
That's deep, man. You know, I swear that's probably the one of the better stories I heard. Like most of them are pretty bland. Like I
catched it once.
Yeah. Forgot to turn off the TV after Blue Peter.
I saw Sky One. There was an advert for Domino's. I was really interested in that, and then this animated show came on with yellow people.
Yeah. That's sick. Yeah, you know, I think why they say why they designed it with yellow people is so that if you were flicking through channels you'd stop, right? It's because this yellow skin is so unusual. Sounding like Nigel Farage out here. Anyways, that's all good, man. All right, so here's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna ask you your top 3 episodes.
Yep.
And then we'll get into it. So kick it off. What's the first one?
Okay, so first episode, I think it comes around that time that I'm talking about, but it's Bart the Daredevil.
Yo, is that the one where they jump the canyon?
Yeah. Okay. So it's the jump into the gorge. I know it's like, I think like so many shows after that, especially Family Guy, have tried to repeat that style of humor with just Homer falling down the gorge it just being this endless reel of him hitting every rock on the way down. It's similar to the Family Guy like knee joke that they try to play out too much. I mean, there's that old age adage that The Simpsons already did it, and I think kind of in this case, it was. Yeah, it like I was a skateboarder back in the day. I kind of identified with Bart, I guess. And seeing that episode of like Homer, who I think is a lot like my stepdad, of always trying to be like the young kid, trying to fit in, take over his son, and try and jump the gorge, and then just fail miserably on the way down. Just resonated massively with me. Like I love that episode.
It's sick. Yeah, that's they keep calling back to that scene in like later seasons where like Homer's falling down the gorge. I hate that episode.
Why do you hate that episode? What's wrong with that episode?
Basically, I've got this thing where like I hate the really old ones. Right? I swear that's got to be like.
What do you feel about the really new ones?
Nah, they're whacking it. The golden era is like season 2 to season I don't know. Like,
Okay, I hate
11.
the really old ones.
Yeah,
I like season 2.
No. I mean, like season 1 is just whack to me. In fact, not even season 2, season 3 to season 9, and that's about it.
That is the golden era. We're on series 25 or something.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Jeez, yeah. I'm younger than the show, which is I haven't known a world. It's kind of like people who grew up in the 60s under the atomic bomb. Like I haven't known a world beyond it. I was gonna say what's cool about the episode is like it's one of the first ones where it's one of the ones where from when the show was back like Bart centric, innit?
Yeah.
So like the show kind of started off focusing on Bart, and then Homer slowly became the main character. So that's why it's whack to me
because you liked Homer over
exactly. I can never identify with some 10-year-old kid, whereas Homer is like I've modeled my life after him.
Okay, so
physique and all.
You're younger than the show.
Yeah.
You grew up
with the show,
not being able to identify with a 10-year-old child.
So this is it.
You grew up as Homer. By the age of 6, you are already a 30-year-old man. There's something about that I can 100% believe.
Oh, man. So I didn't get the show till pretty, I don't know, like, till late. Like, it was already on, like, season 8 when I got into it.
Yeah, so you'd been, like, 12.
Yeah,
and you still
probably
couldn't identify with the 10-year-old
I don't know what it
in
is,
the program.
man. I think I need to see somebody about that. Nah, you know, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, I think he's from a kind of a section of society I don't really understand. Because here's the difference between Homer and the rest of the family is that the rest of the family are real, right? They're real people. They're real people with real hobbies. And Homer is this weird kind of fabricated, amalgamated character who does, borderline supernatural things. He's not a real, he's a 30-year-old dude, but he's not a real 30-year-old dude. I don't know,
man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see more real. I think like Homer's maybe the most real member in the cast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's the one who's majorly flawed. I feel like he's the one who is this like idle idiot, like falling his way through life. He's a baby,
in that respect,
not
like
in a suit. But yeah, I think like Homer resonates more with everyone. I feel like, I feel like Lisa's the one with too much moral compass. Bart's the anarchist teenager that everyone can relate to. Marge is a very stereotypical woman in almost an offensive degree. And Homer is this very flawed male, slight alcoholic, not very good at his job, coasting through life.
Yeah.
2.1 children. But I think he's probably the realest member of the cast. Maybe I'm looking at it differently. I think I resonated with Bart because he was the little anarchist skateboarder, and I think I like to think I was the same growing up.
That's sick, man.
But Homer just reminded me of my stepdad. I just thought, he like
deep, man.
No, not even like in a deep way. I remember the Tour de France was going past the bottom of my road in Kent, and it was a TV appearance. Yeah. And my dad got really drunk that night and decided to go down with his friend to paint loads of stuff in the road, and they just wrote like Mon Ventoux, Bonjour, and drew loads of weird pictures. And about 5 a.m, a member of the council saw them and had to chase them off down the road. And he ran away with his mate, who was also about 55, 60. Yeah. And they had to hire out an interpreter to come and make sure they hadn't wrote any swear words in the road, even though they just wrote like random names of towns in France. But this is him when he was like 50, 55, 60. Man. So like I look at my dad and I think, yeah, you're Homer. Even today, he went to go look at. They bought this shitty farmhouse in France about 5-10 years ago, and they thought they'd be able to sell it, and then Spain went into massive poverty, so they weren't able to sell the house. My dad went out to do a recce to see if they could value the house to sell it. First night, he got too drunk that he forgot where his hotel was, so he had to sleep in the street.
Oh, man.
And then on the second night, he got back to the house, and he went outside to get a breath of fresh air, have a drink, and his mate came out. As he came out, the door slammed shut. He realised the keys were in the house, so he couldn't get in. He thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to call someone. Realised his phone was in the house, so he couldn't call anyone. So he said to his mate, Beasley, I'm going to go check around the back. Maybe I can wedge your ways in there. Leant down to see if he could see anything down there. Was like, no, there's nothing I can see here. Lifted his head, metal pipe, scratched all down his nose. Shoot. Like, my dad is Homer Simpson. Everything. Had to call my mum at 4 o'clock in the morning. Managed to find a way to get his hand in. Got his phone. Called my mum. 4 o'clock in the morning, woke her up just to find a way of finding his way home. My dad is Homer Simpson.
Man. There's a TV character who reminds me a lot of my old man.
Okay.
It's like super embarrassing these days.
Okay.
Basically, Bill Cosby in it. Let me clarify. Basically, my dad looks very like Bill Cosby, like identical. Like he looks exact.
Yo, okay.
Like, just like physical resemblance, but like they could be twins, but like nothing else. That's where the similarities end. Yeah,
that's a stipulation you have to state.
I tell you, listen, man, it's hard being a Bill Cosby fan out here these days.
Okay.
Yo, I hope justice is served, whatever that outcome is. But you know, I dig your point about Homer being real. Like he's, you know, the way he slacks at work reminds me of how I slack at work. Like I'm an ultra slacker. Like I don't even need Lenny and Carl there. I'm just doing it. Let me tell you about this one job I had. Like I was just chilling. I had this one job. Listen, I'll tell you how I was chilling. I had this one job a couple of years back where basically through some circumstances it meant that I didn't have a manager, right? And so I was just chilling. I was taking 3-4 hour lunch breaks. I was like going to the museum, like field trips. Like I was, anyways, and I think in that respect, I kind of modeled myself after Homer J. I don't want to get to it. In fact, let me get into it. I'll tell you,
tell me all about it.
Here's the kind of peak delinquency. Basically, the way it was set up was, I was kind of running solo. It was a company with many offices, and I was running solo in the London office, and but I had like some guys in India and some guys in the US. But the way the time zones work out is like, you know, the guys in India are like 6 hours ahead, and guys in the US were 6 hours behind, and so they never overlapped. So basically, I used to structure my day like I'd start at like midday, right, and the dudes in India would see I'd come in late, whatever. I'd tell them, yeah, I'm gonna stay late. They'd go home soon after that. And the New York guys would come in, and I tell the New York guys, yeah, I just started at 9 a.m. and I'd leave at like 4 p.m. telling them, yeah, I got in early, and this ruse continued because no one ever knew how many hours I was working. You know, the guys in India and US never spoke, so they never overlapped. So everyone had a small piece of the picture, but nothing to pin on me.
You're out here being like the Zodiac killer of the workplace.
I had it all worked out, I tell you.
So like you treat the Americans and Indians like they were your bosses, but didn't let it overlap to a point that they would never know.
They would never know exactly how many. I'd tell them, I was staying late, and I'd tell the other guys I was coming in early, and then, because they never spoke to each other, whatever. Man. Yeah, I was...
I'd never put you down as a delinquent.
Do you know what?
I'd never put you down as a delinquent.
Do you know what? This corporation was, hey, look, I think we all lost in the end. I think society loses in the end. So I think I was just, getting my little cut from them. Yeah.
Man, I had a stint. I've always thought like of myself as a bit of a hard worker, but January to March, it's like a really difficult period in like the film world. And if you're like freelance, it's especially bad.
It's award season, right? So everyone's trying to...
I mean, everyone spends all of their money coming up to Christmas.
Right.
As soon as you get past Christmas, no one's really interested in investing in video because no one's trying to buy anything.
Yeah.
Everyone spent all their money on all that bullshit that you get at Christmas, and they move on to the next thing. So January to March, I was suddenly just like, I'd gone from being freelance working outside every day to sitting in an office, being like a Homer Simpson, of just sitting there and not really knowing what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of getting like agitated. I wasn't filming every day.
Oh, shoot.
So I would fill my days with deleting people off Facebook based on certain criteria. I'd go down the timeline and I'd refresh the timeline over and over again. Once I'd feel like I'd culled enough people, I'd refresh the timeline just to see if anyone said anything that slightly irked me so I could remove them. Kind of like Tracy's from Blackpool.
Right.
That's the kind of people that I was removing, like a Tracy from Blackpool who was saying, "Can't believe Mark treated me like this for the last time.
Oh no!
Can't believe he made me think everything was okay, and now I've been left out on the street cold. I hate him." And I'll just be like, "Nah, delete."
You gotta go.
Or I don't know, Billy from Sunderland talking about I'm really great at doing this. He's gone. So that became my like career for a bit. I solemnly thought that was my job. I tried to create work for myself for the first 2 days of the week, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was deleting people off Facebook for a paid salary.
That's sick. I'd become Minesweeper champ. But, I'll say, speaking of Facebook, I'm not on Facebook now. I must have cut that out 5 years back. I've never felt so liberated.
Okay.
So I thought. So I went to the Facebook offices in London last year sometime. I hope I'm not violating an NDA. It was just a reception. So that's we'll cut this out. To sign into the building, there are these iPads at reception, and you enter your name into a search box. And as I'm entering my name, up pops this old profile pic of me from the account I deleted 5 years ago.
So it still found it?
Still, listen, this dude Zuckerberg has like a secret stash of all the accounts, man. They ain't deleted, man.
But your name was never your name on Facebook.
No, I had like I had that. I had the personal profile. Years back.
Oh, okay.
Way before.
I was never invited to the
way before
profile.
we even met.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not even like it's somewhere there, deep in the system.
So it still exists.
Yeah.
You can delete it, but you can't delete it.
Yeah, that's it. It's never gone.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Trust me.
Zuckerberg's got you by the balls, man. Why did that make you regret that you deleted it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now that man, I tell you, it was crazy. Like, at least let me set up a decent picture of myself. Not this.
Describe me the picture that was there.
Well, I was wearing like a party hat.
No way.
It was like, you know, those like
I'm just imagining the yellow, red, green, and blue with the pinwheel on the top.
Now you know those ones you get in like Christmas crackers.
Yes.
The
crowns.
The crowns. Like the paper. Yeah, I'm wearing one of those for some reason.
Nice.
But it's not Christmas.
Oh.
That's the weird thing. I don't know what it is.
And now Zuckerberg will always know you like that. Where is the Facebook offices?
Oh man, I think I'm violating some agreements right now. We might need to. Anyways. All right. Yeah. So let me hear about your episode 2. How about that?
Okay. I don't know if this is going to piss you off as well, because it might very well be in the first couple of seasons. Lemon of Troy.
That's a top tier episode. That's it. That's up there.
That's okay.
That's a top 10 episode for sure.
Okay, cool.
That's a sick episode.
So I think this is the first time Shelbyville came into the frame.
Oh yeah. The first time they've actually visited Shelbyville.
Yeah, I think it's the first time they visited Shelbyville, and it was kind of one of the highlight episodes of The Grandad.
Oh yeah.
Abraham Simpson kind of like, I think this was kind of a. Forgetting what I want to say, the word. I think it was kind of like a showcase episode for him.
Yeah.
In the sense of him giving pictures, and then just like I think the whole cast really. I don't know if Lisa and Marge came into it too much, but like the whole participation of everyone, from like jumping over and like robbing the car pound, dog pound kind of area to get the tree out of town, to everything that was involved, following the trails of the lemons. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite episodes ever. The whole parallel universe feel to it as well. That's
a beautiful episode.
So see, I've got your appreciation.
Finally. I'm a tough man to please. Only the finest things in life, like tuna sandwiches
from Tesco.
Yeah, that's. And I was saying this the other day. I had for dinner the other day. I had a salmon sandwich from Pret, and I was thinking, listen, if I'm ever sentenced to death, my final meal, when they ask me, what do you want before they send me to the chair, I'll say a salmon sandwich from Pret.
Yeah, why?
It's just it's a thing of beauty. and I demand that they bring it in the bag with the napkins, get the full experience.
Do you want the salt and pepper, or are you okay with just the sandwich?
I'm good, man.
Okay,
go for it. Yeah.
Let me ask you one question. If you were being faced with the option of one final sandwich,
yeah,
what crime had you committed?
Yo, I kind of painted myself in the corner with that Bill Cosby remark earlier, didn't I?
I had a John Coffey image, but you've kind of John Cosby'd yourself instead.
I don't know, man. I like to think that I'd go out for something violent, but not like not like predatory, right? I mean, that's what I think. That's what I hope anyway.
Do you feel like you're gonna have a Michael Douglas falling down moment?
The hell is that?
Have you not seen Falling Down?
No.
Oh shit, man! There's so many references to Falling Down in Falling Down's about a guy. He's been up against it. He's sitting in traffic, and he just goes crazy and ends up going on a rampage.
Okay.
It's a really old 90s movie, but it's like,
oh man,
it's a great film. It's a really good film.
I'll have to give that a spin.
I can see you going Falling Down.
Thank you. I call the police. Nah, do you know what it is? It's kind of like, if I'm gonna get sent to the chair, it might as well be something worth it, right? I might as well have got something out of it.
What? It's worth it?
No, do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna check out permanently, listen, I better make sure that I messed up the hotel room or something. I don't know. Like,
sorry, sir. Incidentals aren't going to cut it this time. We're actually going to have to take you down to the pound. I paid my $250. No, I'm sorry. Death. You the DoubleTree Hilton. When does that become a stipulation?
Yeah. What was I saying? So Lemon Detroit. There's a great scene in it, right? Where the guy, I don't know, like the Shelbyville guy, like he eats one of the lemons from the tree to spite them, and as he bites into his face, just like it puckers up from the bitterness of like a great piece of animation, right? Like stuff like that is kind of heavily dependent on the show being animated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. I think that's maybe why. I think that goes to explain the longevity of the show, right? That if it's been knocking about for 30 years, if it'd been live action, nobody's trying to watch that. 7 seasons into the Cosby Show, I was sick of their faces.
You watched all 7 seasons?
There's 8 and the spin-offs too. Why did I? I need to stop watching it. I was vexed. I was watching it. I was watching it on some streaming service. And then it got taken down because of the allegations. And then, so I had to get it like a special box set imported.
Do you have to get the Cosby Show in like the black market now?
Yeah. So I got mine's it's dubbed in Dutch, but the subtitles are English, which is weird. Like I don't, the opposite would be cool, but here's some chatting nonsense. The other line I like from this episode, is that the one where Bart's like trapped in a lion's den or something, a lion's cage, and he's got to count his way out by piecing together Roman numerals. And his only reference is Rocky. A damning indictment of the education system. I think it is at its core, The Simpsons is a political treatise more than an animated sitcom.
There's also like a thing in America that I just thought of. I don't know if it's actually linked to this, but it's called The Passing of the Lemons. And it's basically about, like, in America, because of the tenure system, the education system is really bad. There's a lot of bad teachers in the school. In England, you can just fire them. In America, you can't because of tenure. So each year, they pass the bad lemons onto the next school. But because every school passes their lemons on, you end up with just the circulation of like bad teachers all the way across America. And it's like a never-ending cycle of like trash teachers. So like, I don't know if I'm just like reaching pretty heavily here with the lemon of Troy, but they're passing their lemon.
Beautiful analogy. Oh shoot. Who thought up that system? But yeah, if so like you'll send one bad teacher to the next school over, they'll just send you their bad teacher.
Like the American school system's like crazily, like it's crazily fucked up. Like in the sense that, so say you.
This was a family show.
So imagine you got like A stars in school. You got straight A's. You want to go to the best school in the town.
Yeah.
The system to go to that best school is done on a lottery system. And if you don't get to the best school, you will go to a trash school and you have no chance. So like in America, like the chances of actually doing well is actually really difficult because you're on this lottery system.
Awful. Like the NFL draft or something.
It's like the NFL draft.
Jeez.
Apart from it's with your life. I mean, one's with riches, NFL, but the other one's with your life. And it's very difficult to actually get into a school that will actually do you any good.
That's awful.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I think I just pushed us off on a tangent again, though.
Nah, this is cool. This is the beauty of this conversation. Like I don't know, man. My high school was pretty terrible. It took me years to realize what it was. Have you ever seen that show Oz?
Yeah.
My high school was exactly like Oz. It was like, and I mean, like the whole thing, like M City, General Pop, like everything. It was just bad. It was.
Were you the dude in the start in a wheelchair, just in the box?
I'll tell you. No, it was.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I met? What was the Italian guy called?
The one who died from the glass,
like brown hair, like. I met him in Hollywood.
No way.
Yeah, well, oh man, this is going to bother me. The Italian guy from Oz, the main Italian guy.
The one who they killed him off. Adebisi and the Irish dude kill him off with the glass, or
yeah, I just forgot what his name is. It's really going to bother me. Like, dub it in this episode.
Yeah,
just there'll be a point where it suddenly goes, man. But like basically, I was in Hollywood and we'd gone out, and I'd asked the taxi driver what were the best places to go out, and he was like, just stop at this bar, go out, see what happens. And we got out there into the main strip, and the Rainbow Room was there, and the spot where River Phoenix died. And we walked into the bar where River Phoenix got shot, died, whatever happened. I think he had a drug overdose.
Damn.
And we went into the bar, and Labyrinth was doing a set to like 5 people, like an acoustic set. We saw it, we listened to it. It was
surreal.
Like great night. And then we went across the road to the Rainbow Room, and we saw Ron Jeremy, who was a really.
Yo, did this actually happen?
Yeah, I promise this happened. Happened. And then we bumped into Chucky Pancamo.
Yes.
Bumped into Chucky Pancamo. That's the guy.
Oh man,
and he looks a lot like Danny Trejo in real life.
Wow.
And I was like, "Yo, it's Danny Trejo." And famous people really don't like being told that they look like other famous people. And I was like, "Yo, Danny Trejo." He's like, "No, I'm not Danny Trejo, mate. Like, can you stop?" And I was like, "Danny Trejo." Like, I was that typical like annoying guy who's just couldn't let it go. I think Chucky Pancamo wanted to knock me out. I think like he really wanted to hurt me, but I've still got a picture of me with him just staring at me angrily and me being full of joy. But yeah, I met Chucky Pancamo.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a crazy night, man.
That was a crazy night.
I need to go to Hollywood.
Man, go to Hollywood. It's a very tragic place, and weird stuff happens in Hollywood. But
early deaths and all of that.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen the episode where there's like heavy references to Oz in The Simpsons? It's Homer goes to jail and he becomes the prison snitch, but like. So he goes around wearing a hat like Adebisi throughout the whole episode. It's like fully an Oz. It's beautiful.
I feel like I've seen that episode, but I didn't realize it was about Oz at the time.
Yeah, do you know, maybe I'm looking into it. The Adebisi hat for sure. That's an Oz reference. But plus, I dug deep into the forums to verify the. I ain't reading that. I am done. What's the deal with internet forums, man? Are they still going? Are they still a thing? Like, is it all Twitter?
There's Facebook forums now, isn't there?
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't know. 5 years late. I don't know. Horribly, I think me and you probably first met on an internet forum. As much as me and you could sit here now, our ivory towers. we can't take away from the essence that we probably met on an internet forum.
Yeah. Shoot, I got a lot of real life friends I met years back on internet. Like, and we're like 10, 15 years deep into friendships in real life, and we just like completely forgot that we met on some forum.
I still have moments in my life where I'll be in random occasions and I'm like, "Yo, Phase 23." And I'm like,
they go with the names. No.
I haven't heard about that nickname in a very, very long time. But it happens, man. Like, yeah, internet forums, very strange place.
Yeah, me and Freddie go way back like that.
Yeah, I heard they used to terrorize you on
they used to violate me on them forums. Hey, listen, I don't want to get into it, but listen, I suspect there was there were multiple accounts going at it from the same dudes. Anyways, do you know what? I think it's like the worst time to use the internet when you're like 14 or something, right? Like, right, yeah. So what was this episode you're talking about? This is Lemon of Troy.
Lemon of Troy.
Right, yeah. I think the other cool thing is there's like some extended scenes with Homer violating Flanders.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like that's like that relationship exists everywhere. You know, whether it's these guys on the forums to me or, just generally kind of. I think it's funny. I mean, we laugh at it, but it's kind of a damn shame. Like he's like real well-meaning, nice guy, good Christian or whatever, and then you got this guy kind of violating him. Why do we laugh, even though it's like a tragic relationship? I don't know.
I think it's just that's a really good point. I don't know. I think we inherently find it funny to like mock the do-gooder or mock the person that tries too hard, or just like the fact that like Homer always lets it be like build it up to the point that it's hilarious that he just gets shot down. It is interesting. I think like a lot of my like closest friendships are probably built on the same like principles that Homer treats Flanders.
Which are you on the receiving end of the?
No, I think I'm the Homer in the situation. Right, I think I'm the dick.
Yeah, it's better than the swallower. That's the,
okay.
That's a Kanye line, right? That's
I thought that was just a rogue line from nowhere.
Yeah. No, I'm not that good. Man, have you seen that? Did you see the rap centric episode they had like last season? Like this is season 28,000.
No, I didn't.
Man, they had this like hour-long rap episode. It was kind of a parody of Empire or something.
Was it bad?
It was all right. It was. What was really funny is they had like bare cameos. They had cameos from a lot of rappers, but the three main rappers they had cameos from. You couldn't get three more different rappers. They had Common, Jizza, and Snoop, I think, right? And they, Jizza and Snoop are rapping that rough, rugged, raw gangster, and then Common comes along with that peace and love, brothers, all of that. Yeah, that's like kind of a mad like.
How long is it since Common actually rapped?
I don't know, man. He's living your life, man. He's on that vegan stuff. He's on some.
Oh, is he living vegan?
Yeah, he's repping that.
He looks and sounds like he's a vegan.
But soft and emotional. Sorry, man.
I've become soft and emotional last month. But I mean, like, I'd just like to clarify, I'm not actually a full-time vegan. I'm just I'm a casual vegan.
Right.
I took it up only for a month, and it was a really, really bad decision, I guess.
Yeah,
it was a good decision. I mean, I did it for like the right reasons, but mainly it was because me and my girlfriend set random challenges for each other, and my challenge for this month was to try out, see if I could be vegan for an entire month, and I was kind of interested to see like if it would make me feel better. And I started watching all the Cowspiracies and the Earthlings. Like for day one, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fully embrace this. I'm gonna watch all these documentaries that'll put me off meat. And to begin with, I was like, yeah, that's right. Meat is murder. It's bad. It's a terrible thing to do while you eat tuna. No. But like, I never did it for the animals. I did it because like I wanted to see if I could discipline my body in a way that I feel like my whole life I've eaten whatever I wanted to eat. I haven't really cared, and I've just taken in whatever I could see. And like with veganism, it puts you to a point where you have to read the ingredients on everything to see if it's got milk in it, cheese, honey, any animal product, and then and then not being able to have that option. And in reality, it's just been too difficult. It's been far too difficult.
Respect for doing it, man. That's
thank you, man.
Mad props. I got that same life where I'm constantly reading packets for like, no pork on my fork, bro. I don't. I live that righteous, no swine life. Rastafari, don't eat ham.
But does like packaging tell you whether stuff is halal or not?
Nah, but you just got to kind of work it out from what's in it. Like you got to, something you kind of pick up over the years, in it. Like, as a kid, you couldn't have the Haribo because it had the all sorts of gelatin in it. But you kind of work it out, man. I think I'm all right because where I live, I lived around Edgeo Road for a few years, and everything they got to label stuff when it's not halal around there. Right? It's there's this one Tesco around there, everything was halal. It was good, man. So basically I've found like the way I'm living my life these days, it's just a lot easier to find that stuff in it. Like at uni there was just like no halal. Like, I was basically vegetarian. I was eating salad, lost mad weight, but like it wasn't good diet. Sure. Why
is it not a good diet? Vegetarian's a good diet.
I don't know. Yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a positive, uplifting diet. I don't know. You know what it is? I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know what it is. I don't. There's a cultural dimension to food as well, right? Like you almost feel like you're practicing your culture whenever you dig into some of your home cuisine, and if you're not doing that, then maybe you're feeling it's like cultural disconnect, and there's some negative feelings around that. I don't know. This is getting weird.
I feel like less attached to a cultural cuisine. I guess where I'm from Yorkshire, my cultural cuisine is like gravy, and there's limited things that you can have gravy with. I remember growing up as a child, I would have like a mug of gravy. Like people have a mug of tea.
Wow.
I would actually have a mug of gravy.
Wow.
The place not to do veganism, America.
Right, yeah.
In New Orleans, in several restaurants, my options were water. The vegetables were pre-cooked in butter.
Yeah.
The chips were cooked in butter. But my friend's vegan, and literally his option would be chips and salad in most places.
Wow.
And I refused to do that, so instead I had pumpkin seeds. And I think I lost mad weight.
Agent Mulder out here with the pumpkin seeds.
Yeah. Pumpkin seeds are underrated, man. Underrated.
I can't get with them. It's that's sick, man. I respect that, man. It's I think that there's a huge gulf between vegetarianism and veganism, right? It's like you just cut out a lot. The second you take milk out of the equation, it's game over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that seriously limits your choices.
Vegetarian's easy. You can still have all the cheese, the egg, dairy. With veganism, you literally,
man,
all of that's gone.
It's game
over. In a
over.
supermarket, I think you probably have 2 to 3% of the supermarket you can actually eat.
Wow. You ever had vegetarian fish and chips? I heard it's like just a big slab of halloumi.
No.
Sorry,
vegan fish and chips is a big slab of aubergine.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, shoot.
So I've been looking for like vegan options. I went to, there's a place called the Temple of Satan. They've renamed it Temple.
They don't do halal food. That's
well, yeah. I mean, it's halal, but it's Satan spelled Seitan. They had to rethink the name and change it to Temple of Hackney because they got a lot of flack for their name. Unsurprisingly, but it does vegan. It's a vegan chicken shop.
Oh, really?
So it's like Seitan, Seitan, is a type of like tofu mixed with soy compound that's more meaty.
Yeah.
So you can get anything that you could get at KFC, but vegan form. So you can get your popcorn chicken, but it's Satan.
Yeah.
You can get like a sub, you can get a burger, you can get macaroni and cheese, but everything's completely vegan. It's actually as good as the meat counterparts, the non-dairy counterparts.
That's cool, man. I'll have to give it a spin.
I even went to a vegan burger joint yesterday with a couple of friends before I saw you actually on Monday, and they had a jackfruit burger, which is exactly like pulled pork, but it's just made from fruit.
Yeah, jackfruit is the worst fruit.
Why? Why you hate it?
It's bottom tier fruit. It smells so bad. I don't know if you had. I got it out of a tin. Maybe that was the reason.
I'd never seen jackfruit in a tin. Where you get jackfruit in a tin from?
My brother buys like all these like obscure like tinned fruits. I don't know what it is, man. He goes to like I don't know where he shops, man. It's I think he shops at like cash and carries or something. I don't know, where you get like weird stuff from weird countries, man.
Jackfruit, man.
I miss living around East London, right? That's where you get all those funky vegan restaurants.
Yeah.
If I'm ever around there, I'll give it a spin.
I'll take you out, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's the funkiest restaurant you've been to? You strike me as someone who hasn't really been that adventurous with food.
Nah, do you know what it is? I don't get to like. I don't go to these kind of restaurants, man. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty. I go to like the popular ones.
Are you a tomato pasta kind of guy, or?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Minus the tomato. I'm not that adventurous. Nah, do you know what it is? I follow bare like halal food blogs. There's this one halal girl about town. She's killing it, bro. I don't know. Somebody hooks her up, like pays her to eat. Or something. If I can get that job, I'd be winning. But it's basically I follow her blog, and then that drives a lot of my
decisions where you go.
Yeah, the other thing is I'm big on like I'm really into like Caribbean food these days, man. Mm-hmm. Like where I live, there's like it's a big Caribbean community, a lot of Caribbean takeaways, and I'm there. The big downside of them is that the notoriously slow service. It's so I got to plan in advance. I got to call up ahead and then come through, man. I don't know what it is. I could be first in line. It'll take an hour for some reason. The other thing, my favorite one though is it's one takeaway. Like basically, it's not economically viable to go there anymore, right? Because there's this guy there who sells Bashment CDs. So every time I go there, I'll spend a 10 on food and I end up spending another 10 on CDs. Like he gets me every time. I don't know, man. I gotta not buy them.
No?
I can't do that, man. I don't know what it is. Man, I don't know what it is. I got a lot of love for reggae. So yeah, keep it sucking in.
Talking about this whole like accounts that you follow, I kind of went on a trip with a social media influencer.
Okay.
Like influencers is kind of my career now, and like I don't have a lot of understanding for what influencers are, and I feel like I don't really tolerate them that well. But like I've met some really cool ones over the time, and one of the guys like went to New Orleans with him. We pay for his entire week to go away. We film a documentary about him. He's in a hotel. He's got his flights. He's got his per diems, and he gets paid a wad of cash on top of that.
Jeez.
And I was kind of like, I need in on this. I need in on being able to be paid to travel. So like, I've started my own travel Instagram account in the vague hopes that I can build it up to a point. Like me and my girlfriend set up, we both travel a lot. So our collective thought is, if we can build it up to at least 10,000, 20,000 followers,
nice,
we will be paid to travel, and then that can be the career.
That's sick. Yo, bring me in, man. I'm out here with Lenny and Carl at the plant. Jeez,
we'll just get the occasional rogue picture of you with a sign saying waffles on it, going down to a Brooklyn eatery, trying to get their finest.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Yo, I was gonna tell you about this area I'm living in, man. Yeah, I live around the corner from where we are now. I'm kind of northwest, but I won't say the area because it's rough. I was like reading like bad news reports about the area before I moved up there, innit? Mm-hmm. There was one report. It said like 3 youths got shot in the back. I thought, damn, if I ever get shot in the back, please report it that I got shot in the front. Because if you get shot in the back, it sounds like you were running away. I don't want people to know I'm a coward. You know. Say he got shot trying to take the gun off him. I don't know, man. My condolences to their families.
So you think the journalists have a duty to talk murder victims up?
Yeah. All right, so listen, let me ask you your episode 3.
This is where it gets confusing. So I wrote down one.
Okay.
And while I've been talking, I've thought of several others.
Sure.
I'll stick with the one that I've written down.
Okay. We can do an honorary mention of the others.
EI grunt.
Annoyed grunt. EI do. Yes. Yeah. Which one is that? The tobacco? Yeah. Oh man, that's the shoot. That's the one. That's the man.
Yeah, tobacco. That's one of my favorite episodes.
That's the shoot.
As you not thought about that for a while.
5. I completely forgot. That's man, that's up there. That might be. That's the man.
Oh yeah, no, I think like that's one of my favorite episodes.
My favorite line in it is that they're selling the tomatoes.
Yeah.
And Bart's standing by the stall saying to the customers, "Please have your money or food stamps ready." That's beautiful.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Shoot. So is that your choice or is that the honorary mention?
No, that's my choice. That's
a sick choice.
It's weird because I feel like I sold it short putting Bart the Daredevil first. But yeah. It was hard because like obviously I probably watched 19 seasons fully. And then the last 4 I've dipped in and out.
Yeah.
I can't say that I know every episode, the recent ones, but definitely for the first like 15 to 19 seasons, I watched everything.
Yeah. That's solid, man. I think those are good seasons to watch.
I think this was season 11.
Yeah.
So it was a bit later in the game, but it was like strong.
Yeah, it was. I think season 11 is. Yeah, there's some solid ones in there. That's a sick episode, man.
It's weird. I'd started thinking about the weird X-rated episode that was like an After Dark episode where Homer had started smoking weed.
yes.
And like I'd got onto that for a while,
man.
And then I was like, no, that. I mean, it was shocking at the time. I remember them showing it on Sky like at 11. Like it was back in the day when any talk of swear words or like drugs was an automatic watershed. A watershed doesn't really exist, but this time. Watershed was there, but then I realised that the actual episode that I did care about and did think about was the tobacco episode.
Oh man, I didn't see that weed one for years. Like I was a terrestrial TV kid, so I don't think they ever showed it. But no, that's sick. Now the tobacco one is beautiful because it's kind of like it's another one of those. There's a formula, right? There's about 4 or 5 different types of episodes. Family goes away on holiday. they move town, whatever. But another popular one is Homer gets a new job.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, this falls into that category of, essentially he becomes a farmer. I don't know why they become a farmer. I forget the beginning of the episode.
Homer commits some sort of crime, or he robs the wrong crowd, and they have to go on the run, and they're in hiding
right
in the fields.
Yes.
And he starts his tobacco business that becomes too big that they get hotted up.
Right. It's not the town. It's not the house that they used to live in as a kid or something. That's not part of the episode.
It's something that Abe used to live in.
Yeah. Something.
There's
like
a subtext about Abe as a child.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So that's beautiful. And then he kind of accidentally grows some uranium powered tomato tobacco mix.
Mm-hmm.
That's So what I'm saying is so although it's kind of that formulaic, essentially Homer gets a new job and the family moves away. I guess there's two of those tropes in one, but it's still, I think that's the beauty of The Simpsons in that on the surface of it, it's formulaic, but it's actually, each one is kind of unique and interesting,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's cool, man.
It's weird because I think the ones that want to give an honorary mention to follow that formula too.
All right.
I think there was one where they go on the run or they're on holiday and Sideshow Bob follows them and there's the steamboat and they get dropped over the bridge. It's quite, I can't remember the exact episode. It's quite fuzzy in my mind.
Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's a solid one. That's a classic one. Yeah.
But that follows the exact same formula of they've I think they're on the run again in that episode.
Yeah, and they get the they get the FBI witness protection training. That's a good one. Yeah, that's that's sick, man. I think Bob is one of the most underrated characters ever. I'd even if I was to ask you, who's your favorite non-family character?
It'd be the fat German kid.
Uta.
He's I love an underdog in an animated show. Like South Park, I love Butters. I think Uta.
He's sick. He disappeared mysteriously in one episode. That's why they killed him off in a Halloween special and he never came back. Oh man. Jeez. Yeah, there's a lot of solid. I love Sideshow Bob. I love Skinner. I think Skinner is I think Skinner and Smithers are the best characters.
Skinner.
I love how square Skinner is. Yeah. He's I'm a pretty corny dude myself, and he's just he's rapping, he's doing it fully, he's owning the corniness. That's why I respect him. Sorry, man, have I got you?
No, fine. I just basically my charge is broken, so I have to keep shoving it in every now and again to make sure it's charging.
All right.
We've been here for an hour and a half, and it's charged 2%.
Wow.
So I just it may look like I'm not interested, but really I just
it's all right.
Every now and again I've just got to shove it.
Reminds me of every date I've ever been on.
Oh, tell me about a date that you've been on.
I'm not. Let's not do that. What time I went on this? It was a charity blind date thing at uni.
Okay.
And this girl shows up, and I'm coming with my A-grade anecdotes ready to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it later became apparent to me all my anecdotes are TV show reference based. And pretty early on in the conversation, she tells me she grew up without a TV, and so it was just dead the whole night. me dropping Simpsons references and her just blank faced.
Yeah, but you should have claimed them as your own. You should have described the Simpsons episode references as if they were moments in your life. Should have owned them. She would never have known better. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, there's one time I moved to a farm and started creating this crossbreed between tobacco and tomatoes. We called it Tobacco.
I should have done. Oh man,
you missed a trick.
Yeah. Shoot. She must not know who Bill Cosby is. She must just know the negative side of it. Right? Jeez.
Who do you identify with the most as a Simpsons character? I'm
telling you, Skinner. He's the ultimate square. He's he's 40 something, living with his mother. I'm neither of those things, but psychologically I am.
Yeah. What's the episode? Is the main principal dating his mum or something? I've got this weird memory of Skinner escaping through a window as the house is on fire and
yes. It's the 22 short episodes. He's cooking hamburgers for the superintendent.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's ultimate Skinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I don't know.
He got the woman eventually, but she left him, right?
I think that might have been
Krabappel.
Was that? Oh yeah. Yo, rest in peace, man.
Oh,
She so the actress who played her died like last year or the year before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they've kind of retired that character, which is it's crazy, man. It's deep. Do you know? I'll tell you. So we talk about kind of the golden era, right? And I can pinpoint exactly when the show went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember the characters Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure and all those guys. So they were voiced by Phil Hartman, and Phil Hartman was murdered 20 years ago. Yeah, in real life, the voice actor was murdered, and so they retired those characters. So those characters continue to appear on screen, but they don't say anything. Yeah. And I think that's exactly when the show flopped, and that was that's probably like season 9 or something. And that's it. As soon as they,
Jeez.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's exactly when the show went downhill, man. Like they cut out 2 they were side characters, but they were part of what made the show, right? I think that's what the show is all about. I mean, the main family is whatever. It's the town full of characters that make it. But yeah, so that's it. When the show is running for 30-some years, people die and all this stuff, and so.
I thought like the first person who they killed off was Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that guy too. Yeah, he kicked the bucket pretty early.
Did he actually die in real life as well?
I don't think so.
Is there a formula to them dying in the show?
If the actor dies, I don't know. It's weird. There's an imbalance of so people like Hank Azaria do like 1 million voices.
Mm-hmm.
But the woman who does Lisa just does Lisa, right? So there's some actors who do half the town and others who just do one character. So if they lose some of those, the big ones, that's it. Is it a wrap for the show? I don't know.
Damn, man.
But that's it. Yeah.
Isn't this like series we're on actually meant to be legit the final season of Simpsons?
I hope not, man. I'll be.
They keep saying it though. It keeps teasing it's the final one.
I think they just like even though it's kind of fallen out of much of the say our consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still like pulls in mad ratings. Even in its declining years, it's always got more ratings than Family Guy and all the others, right? So it's
surely not more than South Park.
I don't know, man. But it's the point is like it's a money making machine, right? They can always I don't know until Fox.
Have you ever managed to get to the Simpsons World in Orlando?
Oh man, I need to go.
I've been.
No way.
I went, man.
Oh shoot.
It's crazy. Yeah. Actually being in like Springfield, how much attention to detail they'd actually placed on it.
No way.
That's one of that was one of my favorite experiences. I actually went to Springfield.
That's sick.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
They do like Duff Beer and all of that.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the Flaming Mo. I got a Flaming Mo. I sat in like Mo's Tavern. I got like this like chicken and waffle burger, and like they had nuclear cola and everything that they had in the show.
Oh man.
And it was super trippy. There was like loads of like there's really cool monuments. Really, really cool monuments. Yeah, I went there.
I need to be out there, man.
I know, I thought of you the whole time, as weird as that is.
Thank you.
I was on a random holiday, I was like, May would have loved this. May would have loved this. There's this outside the Quickie Mart, there's just Millhouse sitting out there, and you could sit either side of him and
that's sick.
chill. There's like a gate, and it's got a Bartwoods here, and just everything about it's cool. I mean, it's ridiculously expensive to get in there. I think it's like $110 per ticket, but it's worth it just to visit Springfield.
Oh man, I need to. Yeah, I think I'll do it. I want to. Oh yeah, I'll try and coincide it with another holiday.
Yeah, I wouldn't do like Orlando is the only holiday. I'd go there as like part of the visit, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Did you do like the Dexter tour? Was he in Orlando?
No, that's Miami.
It's Miami. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, Miami, like when you're going through Miami, you think 2 things. You think Dexter and you think Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Right. Yeah. That's sick, man.
I was like, I swear I did a drug deal here once. I drove up this stair set on a crosser.
That's sick.
Yeah.
When I bumped into you in New York, the whole trip was driven by pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
largely Home Alone and Big, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think that's a pretty good way to drive. I mean, I don't know. Pick a town. All right, what do you know about it?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are companies that publish guides and that, right? But that's something prescribed. Whereas you thinking, all right, what resonates with you? What do you
Do you know they've closed down the FAO Schwartz now?
No,
The big keyboard original spot doesn't longer exist.
Yo, that's whack.
I remember I went there with Kruger, like our friend Freddie, and we saw the big keyboard and we really, really wanted to dance on it. And then we noticed the queue was all 4-year-old kids, and we're like, can't stand in line with these guys. Like they don't even know what they're dancing for, but I can't do it.
Oh, man.
I don't think me and him would have had a genius moment where we'd have pulled off the track anyway. But in my head, there's this whole
you were there
of
moonwalking along the thing.
Tom Hanks right now.
Everything is Tom Hanks. Went up the Empire State Building, and I was coming out with the one-liners to the security, like, "Hey, is Tom Hanks still knocking about? Solve that King Kong problem yet?" They would have thrown me off the side of the building if I carried on. That's sick, man. I was trying to get out to Orlando. So teenage me wants to go see live wrestling.
Okay.
WWE.
So you're gonna go see WrestleMania?
Yeah, so I was trying to. So they always seem to hold them in these southern states. They love Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are mad expensive, man. I mean, like when you get into like $300 a ticket, it's not even like funny to go in an ironic way, right? Like that's like
tickets are $300.
Yeah, it was something like that, and this was like the last row on like the last, like if it didn't look fake on TV, it looks fake from the back row, right?
No.
So I'm not trying to, but they give, I swear, like all of the front row seats they give away to like veterans,
yeah,
right? Because they know those guys are gonna,
they'll pull a heartstring or two.
Yeah, for real. So so that's what I'm saying. Like it's not even like, it's too much for a.
I strongly don't suggest going to see wrestling live.
No
I
way.
went to see Insurrection at Wembley when I think I was 11 years old, 12 years old.
Jeez. Okay.
My stepdad had got us tickets. He was like, he asked me, my brother, and he was like, do you guys want tickets to go see Insurrection? My brother was in that more rebellious stage of teenagedom where he was just like, nah, screw you, I'll get my own tickets to my dad. And I remember seeing like photographs he had from the event, and it was like, do you know when you're way, way back at the O2 and everything just looks like a tiny like ant, or just like a really small micro image of what you're looking at. I was 6 rows from the front. I was sitting behind Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Clark.
Yeah, Clark Duncan. Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile, and wrestling looks kind of whack from that close, man. Like, I think the rock bottomed Steve McMahon like 12 times, and while the Rock is like doing that eyebrow, Steve McMahon's doing some like baseball signals of what the next move is, and like everyone's like, oh my god, JR's going crazy,
telling him how to kick him or whatever. Right?
Yeah,
oh man,
the whole time everyone's doing baseball signals. So all that time that you see like the Rock go. Like really, he's just taking notes on what the next steps are, man. And
jeez,
it ruined the illusion. But then again, like maybe I was an idiot for thinking there was some sort of illusion in the first place that these guys were doing twists of fate and 3Ds and everything else.
That's sick.
Was there ever a Simpsons episode where they got into the WWF? I feel like there should have been.
There's an episode where they find out Grandpa used to be a wrestler.
Okay.
Oh, there's an episode where Homer becomes a boxer.
Yeah, that episode I know.
Yeah. I think there's. Yeah. There's the one where the one where Grandpa used to be a wrestler. That one's pretty good. They bring him back. And, but yeah, I was gonna say those wrestlers are stacking mad money, man. You know, one time I met John Cena.
Did you? What?
Yeah.
What?
Long story. I went to watch him speak. That sounds like corny fandom. There's this particular venue I go to where they bring people in to speak. I was there. He was there that day. I didn't go to like. I can't talk myself out of this kind of.
No. Yeah. Keep telling me about it.
But what was weird, it was kind of like I was in some weird kind of serious mode. I was like asking him like serious questions, like, "Man, did you ever watch that film, The Wrestler? Are you scared that's gonna happen to you?" Like, I should have lightened up and asked him like, "Hey, what's your favorite move or something?"
Yeah.
No, none of that, man. But I rate him as a rapper.
On a genuine level?
No. Nah, he's sick though, man. Those guys, like, I think I think he played it right. You just got to go in, stack mad bread, and go. I was saying that Insurrection. I think I saw that as a kid. I think my brother must have taped it, right? But there's like two types of VHS. There's like long play and short play or something.
Yeah.
Look, whatever it was, we got the wrong one, right? So he put the wrong kind of tape in the wrong kind of player, and it recorded on the double speed. Yeah. So I watched this pay-per-view event twice the speed. It looked like a kung fu movie.
Yeah. Everyone sounds like Alvin and Theodore.
Yeah, so there's basically no audio. All you get is just like rapid. The punches look crazy. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, we also used to have like a VHS of some Simpsons episode. But like they could only ever fit on 4 episodes. Mm-hmm. So there's certain episodes I've seen like a million times just because they were the ones that they... Yeah, anyways.
Do you feel like you know everything about every episode of Simpsons? Because I've got these hazy memories of The Simpsons, and as soon as I've mentioned a show title that I had to Google to find out, I wrote into Mako to find out it was EI Grunt, and straight away you said Annoyed Grunt. Like every title and intimate details of every episode.
I think so. If I'm ever on Mastermind, get me on special subject.
If I'm ever in a pub quiz about Simpsons and invite me.
I'm the specialist. They call me in subject matter expert. Yeah. No, do you know what it is? It's just like kind of like I watched it a lot, but like, yeah, I'm not a fan of other TV shows really.
Is it the main shows ever resonated with you?
That's it. Like it's been a constant in my life that like throughout. As I said, I kind of grew up with it. But do you know what it is? Here's what I think is there's a depth to it, right? It's not like other cartoons. It's kind of like you can go back and watch it and jokes that you would never have got as a kid and now you get it. And I don't just mean kind of dirty double entendres. I mean stuff that's like clever ones. Here's one I'll tell you real quick. And this is, I know it's a cardinal sin to retell jokes you saw from the TV. But here's one, I'll just break it down real quick. Have you seen the one where they go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
They're talking in Mo's bar about who their favorite teams are. And Mo says, "Oh, great, I can't wait for the game. It features my favorite team." And he covers his mouth with a beer mug and says, "The Atlanta Falcons." Right? And then Homer does the same. He goes, "Yeah, and it features my favorite team." Covers his mouth with the mug and says, "Denver Broncos." And clearly they've dubbed in the team names because they didn't know who was going to be playing ahead of time, right? And then the third guy in the bar does the same thing. He covers his mouth and he goes, "Yes, I heard President Clinton is going to be there with his wife, Hillary." Yeah. And, it kind of passed me over as a kid, but watching it back recently, that episode was made at the time when Clinton was getting impeached. So the joke is they didn't know not only which teams are playing in the Super Bowl, but who the president would be. and the reason he was getting impeached was because he was he'd been cheating on his wife. So they didn't know who his wife was going to be. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that you would have to... you'd have to kind of... I don't know. Like, there's this kind of... I don't know.
It's true. Did Clinton get impeached?
Yeah.
He actually got impeached and kicked out.
Yeah, no. So he bust case. he beat the charges. Trust me, that was it. That was the big exonerations of the 90s with Diddy and Clinton.
Oh man, I've got the illest Clinton t-shirt where he's doing a hip-hop pose on some train tracks. It's an all-over print t-shirt. Never wear it out. I wore it once and a bunch of like Americans were like, "That's not funny, y'all." I was like, "Oh, okay." I think it's great. But
cool. All right, man. Listen, so we come to the end. Okay. Man, I want to thank you. You've been great.
Thank you.
You want to say any final words or?
No, not really, man. It's been a pleasure to come down and actually like sit down and get this done. I know we were meant to do this a few weeks ago and work got in the way, but no, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like, it's been really fun to just come and chat shit.
Thanks, man.
Sorry for the families. It's been really nice to come down and just chat about life and chat about like how The Simpsons relates to our own lives.
Yeah, for sure, man.
If I was a Simpsons character, who would I be?
Yeah, that's the question.
Who
would I be?
No, who would I be?
Yeah, so if you're a Simpsons character, who would you be?
No. Who would I be?
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to ask.
I thought that was a prop. This is media training.
No. I'm not training you. I'm interested in your opinion.
Man.
If I was a Simpsons character, who would you put on me?
Boy, you're a bit of a Marge, I reckon.
I'll take that.
Yeah.